up, fam? It's your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 times, and I'm back with another video. I'll be talking about the case of a man who heinously plotted to hide his lies and multiple infidelities from his wife, who was a sheriff's deputy in Fulton County, Georgia. Before we get into this video though, welcome if you're new here to our channel, and welcome back to all of our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do and join the 2 times family. Go ahead and click that notification bell to get notified every time we upload. And if you're rocking with the content, don't forget to hit that like button. Be sure to share this video. Make sure you watch until the end to hear the full story. All right, fam, let's jump right into it. The thought of marriage and having a family can be a beautiful thing for most people. Both parties enter the union expecting their vows to be honored, so either one of them leave this earth. Faithfulness and commitment is a key expectation when a husband and wife begins their life together as one. Even more so when you bring a child into this world together. Establishing a good foundation for your family is what most couples strive for. It would seem that way for 28-year-olds Shakima Brown and Jaquavia Jackson, who welcomed their first child together, a baby boy, in May 2020. The couple got married that same year. Shakima had a great career in law enforcement when she joined the Fulton County Sheriff's Office in 2018 as a detention officer. She rose through the ranks within a few years and became a sheriff's deputy in September 2021. Shakima was favored and well respected among her superiors and colleagues at work. She even earned the respect of the inmates by smiling and greeting them each day, regardless of how they may have treated her. Shakima was described as eager to learn and always positive. Even outside of work, Shakima was described as a loving and caring person with a kind spirit. Shakima's faith was also important to her. She was very religious and involved in church along with her older brother, 30-year-old Lavoy Brown. Their faith and family was very important to them. Shakima and her husband, Jaquavia, lived in a home together in Covington, Georgia on Windcrest Drive. On Wednesday, October 21st, 2021, Shakima arrived home that afternoon like any normal day. Shakima's brother Lavoy was at the house that evening. As nighttime approached, Shakima more than likely started getting ready for bed. Before taking it in for the night, Shakima was cuddled up on her couch with her blanket wrapped around her, scrolling through Facebook. What happened next, no one could have imagined. Shakima's mother received a call from her son-in-law, Jaquavia, that Shakima and her brother Lavoy were no longer alive. Jaquavia said that someone had shot them. Shakima and Lavoy's mother said her son-in-law called her before calling the police. Shakima was hit multiple times. Both her and her brother sadly didn't make it. Shakima's husband was on the scene when law enforcement arrived and claimed that 2 unknown men entered the house and ended Shakima and Lavoy's life. He stuck with that same story when he was interviewed at the sheriff's office in Newton County. Shakima's and Lavoy's tragic slaying was a complete shock because who would want to hurt the brother and sister? It was devastating for their mother to have to bury both her children in such an unforeseeable tragedy. The Fulton County Sheriff's Office, where Shakima worked, was heartbroken over her loss. She was a valued member of the team. Many law enforcement agencies in the metro Atlanta area sent their prayers and condolences to the family and colleagues of Shakima. Shakima's brother Lavoy was known for his fashion sense, love of music, and photography. Lavoy was a person you can count on to show up and show out. He was always known as the nicest guy, always smiling, laughing, and brought a great vibe and positive energy wherever he went. Who could have done this and why? Shakima's husband's story about the unknown intruders didn't seem to add up, and his story began to unravel as the investigation into the slayings began. Investigators found out that Jaquavia was hiding a big secret from his wife and may have slain her to keep her from finding out. Her brother sadly may have been collateral damage. Days later, Jaquavia was arrested and charged with slaying his wife and brother-in-law. He was held without bail until his trial, which took place in July 2023. During Jaquavia's trial, more details were revealed about what led up to the slayings and how Jaquavia tried to cover it up. Investigators quickly learned that Jaquavia and his wife Shakima were both scheduled to attend court the day after the slayings in response to a subpoena. It turned out that Jaquavia was being sued by two different women for fathering their children. Initially, when Jaquavia was supposed to conduct the DNA test, he sent someone else's DNA in the two separate paternity cases. In the upcoming court date set for October 28, 2021, Jaquavia was set to answer questions about the fake DNA test. Shakima would have found out the truth about his infidelities and possibly his other children outside of their marriage. And for whatever reason, Jaquavia didn't want that to happen. Furthermore, jurors learned during the trial that Jaquavia had asked a neighbor if their security cameras were working on the morning of the incident. The neighbor told him no, they weren't working, but there was at least one neighbor's camera system that was working. Footage from that neighbor's camera showed no one came in or out of the house Shakima and her brother were in on the day in question. Detectives also showed text messages and call logs between Jaquavia and his wife that contradicted the false claims made about two men who burst through the front door. The investigation revealed that while Shakima was relaxing on the couch, her husband walked into the room, fired at her multiple times, ending her life. Jaquavia then turned the weapon on her brother Lavoy, taking his life also. Then investigators believe he fired another shot toward the outside of the house in order to support his claims that intruders committed the act. Jaquavia then called Shakima and Lavoy's mother, pretending to discover his wife and brother-in-law were ambushed. The jury ultimately found Jaquavia guilty of 2 counts of malice hit, felony hit, and other charges. He is still currently detained in the Newton County Jail until his sentencing. May Shakima Brown Jackson and Lavoy Brown continue to rest peacefully. They didn't deserve for their lives to be taken under these circumstances. My condolences to their mom, their family, and loved ones. The fact that this was all to hide a man's lies and infidelities is just crazy to me. He made his beds and couldn't lay in them. He took 2 people off this earth for his own selfish reasons. Now the people that love them will never see them again. A little boy is left without his mother and father. I'm pretty sure Shakima couldn't have fathomed the extent her husband would go through to hide his double life. She probably had no idea about the other women and children. And I don't know what her brother had to do with this and why Jaquavia took his life. Maybe it was because he was just there and Jaquavia didn't want any witnesses. Or one of my theories is that Jaquavia used Lavoie's DNA to mislead the paternity test, but I could be wrong. It's just all so senseless regardless. It just shows the extent a person will go to not to get exposed. Shakima's mother set up a GoFundMe to help with the expenses of raising her grandson. According to what she told news outlets, Jaquavia was the beneficiary to half of Shakima's policy, so she was asking for help as she worked to get things figured out. I'm not sure of the outcome, but the GoFundMe is still active. So I'll leave the link in the description if you'd like to contribute. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this tragic situation in the comments below. Alright fam, that's it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate the support. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.